Especially when we tried doing the show.
Whoa, your cup is green.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Ah, sick. Put in that guy's face.
Dude, that's crazy.
Oh, you sick face. Ugh, your face is disappearing.
So did it work yet or what?
Now it's
Nah, dude. It's
Now
on for you?
Yeah, it's
It's not on for me. Oh shit, it's on.
This is the second try. What's
nose
the
touching.
problem?
Nose touching.
All right. Well, I guess
now
we got it
we
sorted
can
out.
definitely not tell that story that we just, did an
Nope.
intro again.
What story?
It's over.
Don't worry about it. The story's done.
Yeah,
You
dude.
gotta
These
tell me
guys
the
will
story.
never,
Repeating
these
it
guys
again.
will never hear it.
That show sucks.
They'll
What's
never
the
show that
story?
on TV again. What's the story?
Did I hear it already?
God.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Fuck your shitty stories. Rip, you gotta work on the punchline.
Punchline.
That's really the key to a story. If there's no punchline, it's not worth telling.
Dude, punchlines are hard, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to tell you.
You keep on telling me, but you're not telling me how to do it.
You gotta work on those punchlines.
Dude, that's like, yeah, hey, get better at Tekken.
Think about it like this. Think about it like a Twitch chat where you only have one line to actually make a joke. That's the punchline.
It's true. I mean, it doesn't have to be a one-liner, but if you're gonna tell a joke, the way I see it is the
It's
long
not a joke usually.
Okay,
Go on.
stories are
That's the
it's like
problem.
the same thing, Yeah, that's the problem. Don't talk if it's not a joke. No, I mean, usually when you tell a story, the longer the story is without a punchline, the worse it is, the harder it is to listen to. So, if you're telling a story, you got to throw in some spice,
Okay.
And if there's no grand finale, then it's like, you owe me. You owe me. I just sat here and listened to that shit.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it will really, Anyway.
I'm aware.
Okay. So anyway, Topic City. What? Lots of shit going on. We just got back from Portland. I just got back from Wednesday Night Fights. We were all there for that. Let's start with Wednesday Night Fights. It was just last night. Esports Arena. It was my first time. It was my second time there, but the first time I went there, it was like, oh, we didn't even say hi.
Hey, everyone.
All right, good.
It's Charles' birthday?
Yeah, you didn't know it's his 30th
No.
birthday. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's an old man now.
Happy birthday, Insomnotek.
Charles is my roommate. Those of you who don't know, he streams. His stream channel is Insomnotek. 30 years old. I don't know what we're going to get, but we're going to get big dinner later. Anyway, who gives a shit about that? What are we going to get? I want Korean barbecue, but he doesn't like Korean barbecue. I mean, it is his birthday.
It's his birthday.
Yeah,
We
it's
should
okay.
pick what I want, right? Whatever.
what?
Maybe not. Okay, we'll figure that out later.
Is that like how Mr. Wizard treated you out for dinner by having you buy it for him?
I invited him,
Ah.
I mean, he invited me to dinner and picked the place, but I said I'd buy his dinner because,
Oh, okay,
I mean,
okay.
if I don't buy his dinner, that's going to be like the worst idea. What am I going to do? I'm going to go out to dinner with like the man who runs Evo and have him pay? Good idea.
You should have tried the Triforce technique, dude.
Yeah, I should have boned out. I'm out of here. Chew and screw. Thanks, Joey. Peace. Yeah, good idea. Well, okay. All right. Wednesday Night Fights. Let's talk about it. Snake Eyes won again, which I think is amazing because, first of all, the fact that he's winning in the first place is impressive. It's a new game. Furthermore, it's the same character in a new game, and everyone says that character sucks. So, pretty good. Pretty good shit. Nice work.
The one
Go ahead.
person that says he doesn't suck is the only person that matters for that character, and it's Snake Eyes.
Yeah, he thinks that Zangief is really good, apparently. So, that's really cool. The matches were really good. Second place was this guy Futile, and he was fucking everyone up, but in the end he just got shook, and I mean I told him outside it's just a matter of time, he has to examine the point where like what did Snake Eyes figure out? There must have been something there that he figured out that ended up blowing the whole load everywhere. So I thought it was really cool matches, but what I do. I mean, I'll let you guys talk about it a little bit first before we get into the details on that. But what do you guys think? I mean, you're basically on the payroll, Rip, right? You're the house commentator. What are your thoughts on the event and how it's going for the season?
I think it's great. I mean, the first event was obviously really large. This one, we expected, of course, a bigger drop off, but we still had over like 120 people or something.
That's a
So
lot.
that's a
120
lot,
is crazy
right? And so
for a weekly.
Via's got a bunch of bracket runners, so it's
Hmm.
moving things along. Tournament's still finishing around the same time it used to, which is like 2:30, whatever.
Yeah,
So
too
I mean
late.
that's super late, but I mean they could run it fast if they ran, I think, the top four like all the way through on both streams, that sort of a deal.
Hmm.
But I think people like to see it on one place. I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's hella late anyway, so who cares at that point? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's running great. The first week we had Chris and Snake Eyes in the grand finals, and that was crazy because F Champ and
Yeah.
Ricky Ortiz were there. And then this week, Snake Eyes lost first round to Jason Cole. It was like,
I
holy
know.
shit. And then guys like Nerd Josh had showed up this time, and it was like a very different top eight. But Snake Eyes still pulled through and made it and won the whole damn thing at the end. So it's just insane.
Yeah, super dope. I think that now that I got to experience the place in its like glory, I kind of like it. But at the same time, it kind of it doesn't really feel like a weekly tournament to me at all. It really feels like a regional or a major. There's a lot of people yelling, a lot of hype, and it does not have that kind of that feeling, like a Wednesday Night Fights feeling. It doesn't feel like Wednesday Night Fights to me. It feels more like SCR, but like one of the games at SCR, So I don't know. What are your thoughts, Ricky? It looks like you're about to take a nap. What are your thoughts, dude? We're all screwed, right? We all went to Wednesday Night Fights and got owned because that shit ends at 3 a.m. That's why it's nothing but yawns. What do you think, Ricky? What are your thoughts on the event?
I mean, it's fun. It's definitely, it doesn't feel like the normal Wednesday night fights, but it still is, I guess. I have to view it a little bit differently now than, like how Super Arcade used to have Wednesday night fights. So,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it's like, I don't even look at it and think of it as Wednesday night fights. I think of it as its own other
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So, but as it is, it seems pretty, it's a nice tournament. The place is nice. The competition's always pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And you got people like LTG's boyfriend,
Yeah.
doing random shit, so that's always cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I had a really good time myself commentating, and it's always fun talking shit and like joking around. The matches were good quality. I think overall it's like a really good thing. We're really lucky, and it's a really good thing that Via is doing. So that's good shit. I could get behind that. It's the PC version, and that seems to also be working out for the time being. So. Yeah, good shit. Check them out. Every Wednesday, Santa Ana at the Esports Arena, and Via streams it on Level Up Live, I think.
Right.
Definitely something you should check out. It's getting good views, good numbers. Of course, Next Level Battle Circuit is also something you should keep an eye on. That's from New York, and I think for the most part, Spooky streams it, but Arturo has been picking up some of the slack. So those two events are getting a lot of traction every week. But other than that, I feel like Street Fighter. I mean, we were gonna talk about this, right? The whole launch and people's complaints about Street Fighter, and now a week in, the newest problem is so now that rage quitting is like a thing, right? And you don't get any consequence for rage quitting. So if I'm getting my ass kicked and I have a 5 streak, I can just rage quit right at the end, right at the finish line, and there's no consequence, and I keep my 5 streak. So this is becoming a problem, and now that the word is getting out that this exists, I think lots more people are starting to do it. In fact, in chat rooms, I'm starting to see people say, yeah, I'm a rage quitter. I mean, if they didn't want me to do it, why would Capcom put it in the game? Obviously, it's totally cool because it's in the game, right? And I'm just thinking like, dude, this is Capcom's fault. You can't blame pieces of shit for being pieces of shit. Dogs will bark, right? So you have to blame Capcom. They have to fix this shit, It's absurd. And they're also tying the ranking system to an actual Capcom Pro Tour event. So I don't even know how they're going to prevent cheating when it comes to that, So I don't know, your thoughts? I've had issues with rage quitters. It's definitely, I ran into a 40 win string fucking Rashid, and I fucked him up, and he rage quit on me. I mean, it's happening to everyone. And what about your experiences, Rip? What do you think?
I streamed today, and I wasn't doing so hot. I was like on that borderline where I kept on swapping ranks like up and down, and I was like, all right, I'm not ending the streak like on a down, so I'm gonna end with a win. And fucking, I'm about to beat this fool. Around as I get about to get my promo back, DC'd, and I had to close the stream, and that was it. And so I'm still fucking whatever shit bronze I was before. So
It
yeah.
sucks, dude. It's such a stupid design. I mean, we're on Street Fighter V. The game is designed in such a way where it's like the only mode is online mode, practically, right? And they couldn't figure out rage quitting? I mean, it's really shocking to me. It's really shocking to me. You know, what is the explanation? How do you sleep at night, right? And then, of course, all these other things are missing. So, I don't know. I mean, I myself am really happy with the gameplay. And I still think it's really fun. No matter how much I lose, I still think it's really fun, which is a great sign for a fighting game, right? But, man, it's getting nothing but bad publicity. People shitting on it at all angles. You know, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Ricky? Your thoughts on the subject?
Well, oh, man, the rage quitting thing is kind of it's dumb, you know, but it's like it's to be expected with a fighting game. Like, so the fact that Capcom hasn't implemented anything with it, I think, is really really bad. You know, at the end of the game, it either says you win. If you win, it says you win, or it goes and you get the disconnected thing. Those are the only two sound effects at the end of the game. Everything else though, like, outside of the fighting game part, there's tons of problems. Like the one thing that bothers me the most is in versus mode, where only first player has the choice to do anything. Second player, you're fucked. You don't get any decision whatsoever. You want to switch characters, you better ask the first player nicely, or else first player can fuck you over.
There's a lot of issues like that, right? I mean, like, for example, if you're playing survival mode and then something happens, you get pulled out no matter where you are. You could be on level 49 about to unlock all this shit, and then if something happens to the server, you get pulled out and they just poop right in your dinner, you know? So there are other issues too. Like, it forces you into selecting your favorite character and being a part of this, like, favorite stage, favorite character thing. I don't like that either. There's, like, tons of stuff that could be improved on, you know? But whatever, okay. I mean, what do we think that means? So, basically, what I want to know what you guys think is, what do we take away from this? There are a lot of problems with the game. There are a lot of complaints coming from a lot of different, like, demographics. Like, the casuals don't have a story mode. You know, I mean, there's a lot of complaints. What does this mean to you guys for Street Fighter? It could mean nothing. It could mean that they'll just pick up the slack in a month and the competitive scene will just take off and game over. Or it could mean bad news. So, what are your thoughts? What do you think, Ricky?
Well, all I can really think about is just, like, you know, it's obvious that there was a deadline, you know?
Yeah.
And they met the deadline, but sacrifices had to be made. I don't know how much of it's going to affect the competitive aspect. I feel like if people were going to be competitive at the game, they would have gotten it by now anyways. But, I mean, in terms of the casuals, like, that's something I've never been. I've never been a casual fighting game player, so I don't understand exactly what casual players look for when they get a fighting game. Do
It's
they
definitely
look for,
hard to predict.
yeah, like, do they look for story mode stuff? Or do they look for, you know, like, things like Tekken Ball and Tekken Bowling?
Yeah, modes and shit.
Yeah, so
or
for me,
customizations, like Soul Calibur has, like, these creative characters. It's like nothing but, I mean, all those things sound shitty to me, which means they're all not, I'm not part of that demographic, right? All three of us probably want gameplay mechanics and features like one player side control and stuff like that, you know?
I mean, all that stuff is cool and all, but I mean, were you guys never ever casual fighting game guys? Because I used to be casual like forever ago.
For me, I mean, well, I don't really look at it that way. When I was, as soon as I was old enough to really grasp strategy, I started wanting to compete. So, I mean, it was basic, for me, it was like when I became 14, 15, I started to think, okay, I'm going to get a car. Now that I'm going to get a car, I can find out where the best competition in Southern California is. And then I discovered Southern Hills Golfland and started going there. So going there is what introduced me into the tournament scene for the most part. You know,
I don't think I've ever really been a casual in terms of, like, you know, if I had any fighting game like a Street Fighter 2 or something on the Super Nintendo, all I did was just try to find, like, special moves, figure out how to do these things. You know, there was nothing.
You're a casual.
Well, I mean, but the thing is that there was no single player thing outside of, like, what, arcade mode or whatever.
Casual means competitive or not competitive.
Yeah, but see, but like in that sense, then I don't have any of these quote unquote casual like things that the like when I was a kid, there was nothing in there for quote unquote casuals, right?
I disagree with that a little bit because for me, I mean, at least I think I was really casual before, and I thought for
Mhm.
me the casual part is always I wanted to beat the arcade mode and see what every character's ending was. That was the casual payoff, right? It's like even with
Oh,
Tekken 3 and stuff, like I was like, oh, what's this
endings.
2D thing? Like the Tekken Force mode. Yeah, all the endings was always what I considered the casual thing. And Street Fighter 5, I think, has really
Hmm.
dropped the ball. Tekken Tag 2, of course, did the same thing.
Yeah, they
Tekken Tag
dropped it
2 came out.
hard. There's nothing in that game.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And all they did was say, "Here's Fight Lab, enjoy that shit." The bears bounce really high sometimes and shit,
I mean, you got
and there's bombs to walk
customizations and
around.
shit like that.
Right, but see, I mean, for me as a casual, that wasn't what I was looking for. I guess I don't know. I just put my people in underwear and let them fight. But in general, like the casual stuff that's Mortal Kombat's been doing with they have their story mode. They've got these combat towers, which like
Those
are
suck.
whack. Right. I mean, they suck for us, but I mean, if you weren't like competing and you weren't trying to figure out the best combos and shit, like maybe that's what you look at. Like, oh, this game has a lot more shit in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's you're right. I mean, in the end, you're right. And we're really not good barometers of what a casual player wants because we are tournament players. Like for me, when Tekken 6 came out and it didn't have a record function, I was ready to just fucking put a gun in my mouth. I couldn't believe it, right? But if they had put no endings and no single player mode in that game, I wouldn't have even cared. So I don't think we're a good demographic of that at all. And after talking to them about record function, they even said like, dude, we have data on how many people use the record function. It's such a small amount of people. So it all depends on the perspective. We're looking at it through the eyes of people who are competitors or strategists or whatever. So we're looking at that aspect of it. But some people just want to, look at those titties. The casuals likes the titties, right?
So do you,
Or
well, do you think
whatever.
that this game was released not necessarily with the casual player in mind? Then
It doesn't seem like it,
seem
right? I
like
mean,
it,
there's
right?
no modes. There's nothing to do in there, and I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's a casual player's game. Even though the game's fight system has become more casual,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, the combo system feels similar, except it's easier,
Right.
right? And it makes you feel good when you
Mm-hmm.
hit these. These combos look hard to do, but they're so easy. So I don't know. It's weird. The game system is for casuals, but the final product not so casual.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Sajam said. But you know, with Street Fighter 5, I mean, even like that story mode, I haven't played it yet. I tried playing it once, I got disconnected from the server. But I mean, like the voice acting is fucking terrible, right?
Well, I mean, dude, I don't know. I haven't done it, but if you just look at the voice acting for the wind poses and shit, they're terrible anyway. So
Yeah, good.
yeah, or
That's
bad.
Ryu.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
That's why you guys. That's why you guys have to play on Weebu voices, man.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
coming
that's
out
what
on
you're telling me.
March. I don't know, maybe not March 1st, but sometime in March they're doing a download for cinematic story mode, though, right?
Okay, here I've heard two things. I've heard that in March, but when I first heard of it, it was supposed to be in like June or something.
I heard March.
Yeah, I first said June.
June?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was the first
Holy
thing I heard.
shit.
'Cause
June?
I think there was some picture online or something that showed like like the plan for Street Fighter V's like
Yeah.
add-on content every month, and like next month was I think Alex
Alex.
plus the shop opens and some other shit.
Wow, it
But I
looks
don't-
like chat rooms all saying June.
Yeah, I'm
that-
pretty sure.
it
So that means like, I mean, do you really think that seems really weird?
It's their long play. I mean, this game. I think the big thing that everyone's saying is that the deadline for this game was so that it would line up with Capcom Pro Tour.
Yeah.
And so obviously the competitors were what's in mind, and they don't want to. I mean, and the balance of the game seems pretty good thus far. So they
Yeah.
did a good job in that, right?
Yeah.
But for the casuals and initial sales from these reviews, etc., I don't know how that's gonna affect everything. But
Yeah, that's the thing. We've said it for a long time. Video games, their huge explosion is right on the first week, the first launch. So if that's true, what you're saying, the deadline for the game was for Capcom Pro Tour, so they had to scramble and they sacrificed the non-competitive aspects of the game to finish it on time. If that's the case, who knows what kind of damage that did, in terms of sales and stuff like that.
Well, they did release the Japan sales for the PlayStation 4 version, and it got I think half of what Street Fighter 4 got initially. So
That's
pretty
not
good.
good. But I also heard that that doesn't include digital.
Yeah, digital
Right.
and PC, I don't think. So, and I think a lot of the Japanese players might be playing on PC as well. So, uh, there's that. But I mean, just right off the bat, like I heard that the PlayStation 4 in general is not doing well in Japan either. So,
Okay.
you got combinations of
Yeah.
things.
A couple of reasons that might not be as high.
But I
as we
mean,
wanted.
just overall, it's still not a good sign.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, especially I keep thinking about this because the last fighting game, the big one that came out, was Mortal Kombat, and that was a year ago this month. And I remember when Mortal Kombat came out, it was huge.
It was April.
Right. It's almost there. Next month. Is it
2 months?
2 months. But I mean, it was a year ago, and the funny thing is, I was talking shit earlier, but they're finally fixing their netcode after a year, but their launch was super good, right? Remember Twitch was just like nonstop. It was top 5 for like a week, 2 weeks maybe, top 5. But this game didn't have that. I mean, we get the events like Wednesday Night Fights and Next Level, but it doesn't have that feel, of a big launch. And also the beta tests probably have a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
People have seen it. We've already seen Infiltration play it, so I don't know.
I mean, a lot of it was people like, Rip was talking about this. Like, people would always go and say, Street Fighter 5 isn't out yet. Like, they're surprised that it wasn't out yet because they thought, it's been out for, since like whenever the first beta test was.
Yeah, like
So,
September or June or some shit.
Yeah, and we've been watching Mike Ross and Combo Fiend, play each other and talk about it for like 2 years. It feels like. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested in seeing how the game ages. As we said, it seems very balanced. They already announced that they're not gonna patch the game for a year, which is shocking to me because they're about to introduce new characters.
Well, they said no balance patch.
Right.
They said like, what did they say? They said something about like if something is a bug or something. Then
Yeah,
they'll fix
infinite
it.
or something like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think, I like that they're coming out and saying that. It shows that they're confident in their game. I remember, this is back in, I don't remember what year, but I asked Tokido what he thought about Mortal Kombat and Injustice, and he said the reason he doesn't like those games is because it feels like they're designed in a way to make them changeable later, and he feels like that makes the game feel low in quality because they design it in a way where they're not confident in their decisions. So they put a backup to change it later. And I think that when you look at it from that perspective, Street Fighter is hitting a home run, right? I mean, they set it in stone 1 year, and that's it. So I really like that. It's just, will everyone else like that, right? I don't know.
I think people will.
I hope so. But I mean, anyway, okay.
Except for Chris T. I don't think he'll like it.
Why not?
I mean, because he literally thinks that,
Oh, yeah.
that standing roundhouse with Zangief is, literally game breaking.
Yeah, he said Zangief's roundhouse literally breaks the game. But as I said after I heard that, I thought to myself, they changed the definition of literally. It actually also means figuratively now because of schmohawks like that guy. So, whatever, man. Literally, figuratively, who gives a shit?
Shittily.
Tell us. Let me take a water break, Rip, and why don't you tell us a little bit about that Portland, Oregon tournament?
Are we transitioning there? Hold on, I wanted to transition. One more thing about Street Fighter 5.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I
it's
mean-
not over. We're still talking about Street Fighter 5.
Sure, yeah, I was just thinking specifically though about how they're using this Killer Instinct model, and when we were talking about this initial sales of Street Fighter 5, we don't know how it's doing, etc.
Yeah.
And Killer Instinct, when it first came out, obviously the Xbox One wasn't selling so hot, so not
Mhm.
many people saw the game. It was a great game. They also did the thing where they let it rock, basically. They didn't put a lot of balance patches in.
Mhm.
And then, a year goes by, whatever it was, and Season 2 comes out. They were continually adding characters, which is what Street Fighter 5 is planning to do. Now the game is fleshed out. It's like they've had a bunch of patches now, and it feels like even though the game is so much bigger at this point, they're not really growing as a scene. They've had the lowest entrance numbers at EVO, even though the game is way cooler than it was in Season 1.
Mhm.
So it's a little
Yeah,
scary
well, okay,
for
okay,
Street
go
Fighter
ahead.
5 in that sense.
Mhm.
And so I just really hope that this launch is going to work out for them, by avoiding all the casuals, basically.
When I think about Killer Bitch Stink and I think about the way it's aged, I feel like there are two things. There are two forces working against each other, right? on the one hand, the game is receiving so much support from so many, like, the community is supporting it, and the developers are supporting it, and it's just getting a lot of support, and it's growing, right? So that's the growth of the game. But on the other hand, the game itself is old as fuck, and it's on the shittiest console on the planet, and it's barely about to come out on PC. So these two things are fighting with each other. If you consider all the facts, I'd say that Killer Instinct is doing really well. For a fighting game that has been out for this long, it's about to make it to its third Evo. That's way better than we can say about a lot of Tekkens, right? That's better than we can say about a lot of things. So maybe
But it's different though, right? Because
I don't know.
it's expanding continually. It's like that's if you count like Tekken 5 and Tekken 5 DR together at Evo. Like how many years is that? You know, because KI Season 1, Season 2 isn't the same game.
You're right. Okay, fair enough. That is definitely fair enough. I mean, yeah, when it comes to Killer Bitch Stink, when I think about the game, and you know, we could talk about this now, I guess, but you know, they just recently put out that trailer, and they showed Tusk, and they showed the Halo character. I'm not in love with all these guest characters. I don't like it. It makes the game feel really cheap to me. Like, next up, it's going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, and then it's going to be Crash Bandicoot, and then we got fucking Sony PlayStation All-Stars.
But isn't that the whole thing that we're harping about Street Fighter 5 kind of hitting with the casuals? You know, like
Oh,
maybe,
you're saying they need it?
I don't know if they need it or not, but I'm saying that, you know, like if there are people out there that like maybe I don't know, some weird ass Tusk only fans. I don't know. I didn't know
He's
what
a KI character.
Tusk
yeah,
is
I
a
didn't-
KI
didn't
Gold
know who the-
character.
I didn't know who
Is
the
it-
fuck Tusk was.
Is he
so
gold or is he KI 2?
Maybe
Doesn't-
both.
It doesn't matter. But I'm saying like the Halo character at least, right? Like there's gonna be someone out there that's like, well, I like, you know, Master Chef or whatever. I'm gonna play fucking KI now because
Master
he's in it.
Chef.
So like, who
Some
cares?
shit up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, like I guess that's a casual aspect of it,
Yeah,
right? Like
you're right. You're right. That is a way to get the casuals in, I guess. But from my perspective, I don't like it. I don't like all these guest characters, especially ones that are from a completely different universe that doesn't fit. It just reminds me of Darth Vader and Yoda in Soul Calibur 4, you know? But we'll see how it pans out. People are really excited about the game still, and the community loves it, and it produces exciting matches in top 8s. So, whatever. Good shit. Anyway, what's the next topic?
You said you wanted to talk about Wizard World?
Oh yeah, I mean, so, you know more about this than me.
How do I know more about this than you? You were there too.
You told me all about it though. Okay, so in Portland, Oregon, there is this. It's either a comic book convention or an anime convention, but it's a big deal. It's like a convention where people dress up. It's like YumaCon and San Diego Comic-Con. It's like that, right? In Portland, Oregon, and it's this time around they decided they want to do a big gaming thing, right? And it really turned out pretty cool. You know, I mean, the stream, you know, they need to work out the details. Naruto was really long. It ended up pushing Tekken to like way after the show was even closed. So it was a little weird, but as far as going to the event, that was a sick event. There were a ton of stations. I played a shitload of Tekken 7. I mean, Dark Souls 3 was there. They had tons of free tournaments for lots of money and a big, huge stage. That stage was bigger than SCR, NCR. I mean, all these majors. The stage was monstrous, right? So, I mean, to me, I thought it was great. I would highly recommend them. I don't know if I'm going to the next one or not, but I would definitely recommend them. So, I mean, what was your experience with it, Rip?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time. You know, I mean, obviously I'm a WWE fan, so like just seeing the New Day and like play with them, and then getting to commentate that stuff with their exhibition with Justin Wong, etc. Like all of that was a ton of fun. As you mentioned, we got to play a bunch of Tekken 7, which is always sick. There was, I think, like 8 or 10 setups of Tekken 7 there.
There was a lot.
There was a lot.
I think it was 10. 10.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a group of setups. So I mean, if you guys want to just come out, or if it's in your area and you just want to play Tekken 7, they're gonna have a buttload of setups for you guys to play on there. And it's like the latest arcade version, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the latest arcade version that's available. So once Fated Retribution is available, they're gonna switch to that, which is great.
Right. So, wait, they said that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that means well, whatever. I mean, Wizard World is scheduled to go till the end of the year, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and there's multiple locations and dates announced already. You just got to check out, I think, Bandai Namco's Twitter
Yeah,
account.
it's also not just Tekken and Naruto. There's Street Fighter 5, and Street Fighter 5 is going to be at every one of these locations.
Yeah.
And they're giving away, what is it, $3,000 split between top 8, I think. And they're going to work on the split format. But,
Right.
I mean, if you think about this, right, if you include all the other majors that are going on, the usual suspects, Combo Breaker, CEO, whatever, all that stuff, right? Then you add these Wizard World tournaments, sprinkle those across the year, the calendar. I mean, there is so much action, right? It's like high-paying action. So I'm really excited to see just how things pan out with all these different tournaments. And they're not bootleg tournaments either. These guys paid out right there. Boom, you won?
Cash.
Here you go. US dollar dues, just like that.
That was the first thing I asked Rip, by the way.
Yeah, man. That shit was
"You get
like
paid?"
dope.
Yeah.
That shit was super dope. It wasn't some like, we'll pay you at the beach, in 6
Yep.
months or some
6
shit.
weeks and shit,
Yeah,
you get a
no.
check in the mail.
And usually when you have these big corporate fat cat stages, you better expect to wait for a check in the mail. Nope. There you go, amigo. Good shit.
that was
Nice
perfect.
nice Korean backdash. Here you go. And that's what I love to see. So right now, I'm a big supporter of these tournaments. I like the way things went down. I didn't hear a single complaint from any of the players, which is pretty hard to do these days, right? So good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, they even allowed Tekken players to plug in their own sticks and pads and stuff.
Right, into the arcade board. So
Right,
that was
right.
cool. I mean, just great. Overall, I have no complaints. The next one is March.
St. Louis.
Is it
April.
March? April 1st.
to 3rd, I think.
Yeah, in St. Louis. So I don't know. I have no idea if I'm going to go to that or not, but I recommend it. If you're in the area, look into it. It's a really cool event and a really unique one too.
Yeah, the cool thing about the Wizard World thing is that the locations of all of them are like in such weird areas where it's like I don't know if Minnesota's ever had a fighting game tournament ever.
Let alone access to Tekken 7, right? Let alone
yeah.
a tournament for Tekken 7 that's going to be a $3,000 pool, right? So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely sick, man. I mean, it's super sick. Super sick. It's a rare occasion where they're going on tour. It's called the Amateur Tour, right? Or something?
Mature.
I don't know what they're calling it.
It's
but
a North American tour for sure.
yeah, it's a North American tour for Tekken 7 and Naruto and Street Fighter. And are they gonna have Blaze Green pop bonus or what?
They had one at this event.
Yeah, but they might. I don't know if they're gonna have it next time or not.
Yeah,
but
I
either
don't
way,
know.
good shit. Wizard World, keep your eyes peeled. It's always when you have a new series of tournaments, you're always kind of looking at it with one eye open, like, what is this?
Right.
And now that we saw it, and it went down, I'm 4 thumbs up.
Yeah, and I should just say, before this event started, I actually got hit up by JDCR, who was thinking about coming down to the event because he heard I was working it. So he hit me up and he asked me about it, and I told him, like, look, dude, it's a brand new thing. I don't know how it's gonna run, so I wouldn't recommend it to you right now.
Yeah.
And now that it's happened, I would definitely recommend it for anyone because it's legit. They pay you in cash on the spot. You don't got to worry about any of that sort of deal with them. So it seems pretty awesome, and so hopefully we'll see some kind of crazy competition flying in for the next couple.
Yeah,
But,
if I happen to, or if we happen to end up going to that one, the next one, I'm curious what the difference is going to be in terms of like vendors, entrance, but also vendors. Because remember those good ass hot dogs I was eating every day? You
Those
think
are
that's
good.
you think that's going to be like a local Portland thing, or is that hot dog guy going to go all the way to St. Louis?
Wait, there was hot dogs there?
Dude, they
There
weren't
were
just
big-ass
regular.
hot dogs.
They were the big ones with the casing, and they got the banana thing going on, and they
Yeah,
put
the
them
weird
on
ending thing that you
Yeah,
don't even
dude.
want to eat.
and
Why
sauerkraut.
why didn't they advertise the hot dogs?
I don't know, man, but it was good.
Man, they're fucking up.
Yeah, it
Limited
was hella
convention
good.
space, bro.
Yeah, and they had strawberry lemonade too.
Yeah, we saw William Shatner there.
Man.
Oh man, I met fucking Billy
Billy
Mitchell, dude.
Yeah, I don't
That
give a
shit was
about
so
that guy.
sick.
Who gives a
Billy
shit?
Mitchell. You don't give a shit about? Oh, William Shatner? No.
WWE
Those
Diva
3
Three.
wrestlers from
Yeah,
New
the
Day.
New Day.
Who?
Yeah, I was saying the
Wait,
same thing.
what I wanted to know, Rip, is after you beat that one wrestler guy, did you call him a bitch?
No, dude, that was the randomest thing, right? Like, I was playing. There was a single elimination tournament on Friday. I was just happened to be sitting there, and then somebody came up and said, "Hey, do you mind if a WWE superstar sits next to you?" And I was like, whatever. I was done anyway. So I stood up, like expecting not to play him. And then he called me out, and he's like, "Hey, you want to play me?" And I'm like, "You want to play me?" And then I'm like, "You don't want to play me." And he's like, and then like shit got crazy and it got all
This
loud.
is one of those punchline situations.
Yeah, that's what I'm
dude.
waiting for.
And then
I mean,
shit
we
got
talked
loud.
about this earlier.
Hold on, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So then I go and I beat his ass, and then Eric starts crying afterward. It was fantastic. Was that good enough?
I told him about this shit earlier in the show. I told him about this shit. If you're gonna make someone listen to you, you better have a fucking punchline at the end of it.
Dude, you didn't have no punchline for your long ass spiel about Wizard World. I was
That's
waiting
not-
for it the whole
oh,
time.
just-
It
are
was
you
a
kidding
story,
me?
bro. It wasn't a joke. Jesus Christ. It doesn't have to be a joke.
I'm pretty sure I had a punchline at the end of that
You
too.
did
I'm
not.
pretty sure it was
You
solid
did not.
too.
You did not.
Fucking
boy.
jokes are whack.
It wasn't a joke.
Whatever. Quit. Don't quit your day job commentating Wednesday night fights. All right.
Yeah, don't show up, please.
Take your job. All right. Whatever. So, what's the next topic? Next caller. Oh, more on Kombat. They did a Kombat cast. Alien came out today. Or it didn't come out, but they talked about Alien. Whatever, right?
That's pretty much my feel about it.
What happened to the beta? Oh, yeah, the beta is going to be included with XL. That comes out next Tuesday, you know.
Really?
Are you guys way out of the loop, dude? Mortal Kombat. Really? You guys don't give a shit at all? 0%? I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it. Robot
Damn.
Smoke?
Hey, can't
You
you,
know
get like Paco Stevens to like buy us all copies or something?
Yeah, he should. I mean, we fucking talk about the game enough, right? I mean, he
Right.
hooked me up with a beta code. I'll take that, I guess.
He's gonna hook up Eris.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me to call NRS a bitch for something to happen. I
So,
don't know.
you're
I'll
0%
take that
interested. The game's trash and dumb to smoke to you guys.
You know, honestly, it's not that the game. Like, I have no interest in playing it, just
Mhm.
because it's been so long since I played it competitively,
Yeah.
and Street Fighter V is here
And
right now.
and we know there isn't a casual bone in your body. We know that from earlier.
But as a spectator, I can't wait to see.
Me too. That's the
Because
only part that's exciting. Spectating.
I like, even though I shit on MKX a lot. Like, as a spectator, I love watching that game. That game is so interesting. to me.
100% agree.
So I can't wait to see what people do with that game. But I mean, I guess I'll buy it, but I don't know. We'll see.
I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna try out Robot Smoke and the Alien. One of the Alien variations has a tail, and the tail shoots out jizz that burns you. And he's a zoner too, so he has like a up jizz, down jizz, ground jizz, full screen jizz. It's
Yeah, but
pretty
you
crazy.
Said Zoner, fucking Rip's eyebrows got all crunched
Yeah,
up.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that was gonna happen. No, what happened was you mentioned Robot Smoke. I motherfucking forgot that character's in the game. Now I gotta get the damn thing.
Why?
Because Robot Smoke is a character I used to use in Ultimate MK3
You
That was one
played
of my
Ultimate MK3?
in the arcade.
Huh. I didn't know that.
You're a
Yeah, I used to
casual,
love that game
right?
actually.
Your camera just froze.
Yeah.
Mine?
Yeah, yours, in this funny, weird,
Weird. It's still frozen, huh?
Oh, there it
no,
goes. There it goes.
Okay,
Good
sweet. I
shit.
didn't do anything. Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm
Zoner,
gonna
though,
try
I
it
like
out. March 1st, I think, is when it's coming out, which is I think next Tuesday. So, I'll check it out. Jizzy Tail.
Yeah, and it wasn't the zoning that got me, Ricky. It was all the jizz.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. We were
Mm,
talking about the Oculus and HD. Of the thing.
man, some of the fucking links going around involving VR are mad gross, right?
Like what?
Like people are connecting fleshlights to their desk underneath their keyboard and shit, and then they just put on the Oculus and they just go to town on their desk.
How much does the flashlight cost?
Oh man.
Actually, you can Google that.
Come on, man. Come on, man. What happened to Lord
Get outta here,
Brady?
dude.
You know I really hate it when my favorite streamers stop streaming. And then they come back and they want you to donate to them. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on. Weak. I really am starting to appreciate the dedicated Twitch streamers. You know, I don't have TV and I watch a lot of Twitch, and I stream a lot on Twitch, obviously, and I'm really starting to appreciate the ones that are just like, you know, they're on it week after week. You can count on them. It's like a TV station. It's like the fucking Food Network, you know? It's on. It's on every time. And I like that, you know? It sucks when it's like been 2-3 months and it's like, what the hell? You know,
I mean,
but
you know, some people can do it as a job and some people can't.
of course.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like fuck you, keep streaming. I'm
Yeah,
saying
Rick.
appreciate the ones that do keep
Oh yeah,
streaming.
no,
That's what I'm
saying.
saying. Like,
I-
you know, whatever. Maybe he can't do it. Maybe Sub-Zero Ice Clone doesn't work properly. Whatever. He's busy for work. But I'm just saying, you know, there are people out there that are dedicated and are still streaming. So it's just making me appreciate those people a lot more, you know. Whatever. Just a thought. Okay, so what else? Other topics? Anything else going on? Portland, we talked about Street Fighter. The rage quitting problem is a real issue for Street Fighter, and I think it needs to be fixed ASAP. I know that Ono-san tweeted that he's really sorry, he fucked up, and he's gonna be releasing a patch very soon to fix it. But he doesn't say
what. The patch is
what.
about?
He didn't say what it's about. It was just a ambiguous statement.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry. Be patient. I'll fix it.
Did he say fix?
Well, yeah, like.
I mean, it's to me the way that the tweet sounded was like, "There's plenty of issues, and we're gonna try to fix them all."
Yeah,
know,
we're
it's
gonna
like-
try and fix everything with.
But it was all, but it was all like kind of rainbow colored. Like, we got it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
about
don't
it,
worry
you know?
about it.
And you know, the net code's gonna be better this time. We've heard that
Yeah.
one before, so. I don't know, but I think Capcom's a little bit more in tune with what people are saying. I think they know too. So.
Speaking of things that they did right, you know, I gotta say the player's guide is really becoming a really popular topic. The hardback Prima Street Fighter V player's guide, both Rip and I definitely can recommend it. I highly recommend it, and if they really are not going to patch the game, oh, do I have to get mine too?
I'm giving away 2 of them.
Oh shit, there you
What?
go. Make sure you check out his channel and follow him up because this guy's giving shit away. You know, I recommend the guide. It's a little bit pricey, but if they really aren't going to patch the game, patch the game for a year, for the most part, the data in this guide is going to be, you know, legit. So I recommend it. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, you spend a lot of money on a bunch of trash, and then when something good comes along, I think, you know, it's definitely worth noting. It's definitely a guide worth checking out. And the game itself, so many people have asked me, is Street Fighter V worth it? Is it worth buying? I would say that maybe if you haven't bought it yet, it means that you're not itching to play it first week, second week, third week. So you might want to wait a month and see what they do with this this next character and see what's going on.
I personally think that it's always best to get in on fighting games as early as possible, and you should look at it as an investment. Like, this game will have more content later, and you're gonna get it. So just get the game and start.
But you're
playing
gonna
it
pay
now.
more for it now than you will in a month.
Right, but I'm saying if you just get it and start playing it now, you'll have in-game currency to unlock the future stuff anyway, and you'll have more fun at the game because you'll be learning stuff as everyone else is getting better, so you won't go
That's
super
true.
behind when you get the game in 3 months and it's cheaper.
Well,
I
I agree with that. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ricky.
I think it just really depends on the kind of content you're looking for in the game.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah, it
if
comes
you're looking
down
for
to that.
story mode and
casual shit,
then you gotta wait for the casual shit.
Wait
But
till
if you're,
summer.
yeah, but if you're a player that obviously wants to get better at a game, or you like the competitive aspect, you should definitely get it because
The way I see it is if someone comes up to me and asks me, is this game Street Fighter V worth it? It means they're after content. They're not after a good game. Of course it's worth it. Any fighting game is worth it. It's a fighting game, and if you want to play it, it's worth it. I mean, that's it. You learn the game, you learn the characters, and you fight. It's worth it. No matter what, it's always worth it if you want to play that game. But when they ask me that, it makes me feel like, all right, they didn't get it at launch. They didn't get it week 2. They don't give a
Yeah.
fuck about, being on point with all the latest tech in the lab. They want to know, is this going to be worth my money, or should I get Black Ops 3 or whatever, So, I don't know. To that guy, I think you should maybe wait, because the game's going to drop in price like crazy. I already know that the PC version, it was selling the day before it came out for like $38, $35. So, I mean, look out for a deal, man. If these game companies are going to be screwing us like this, then we got to try and get a good deal at the very least. I mean, we're going to play the game. We're going to support the game. We're going to stream the game. Might as well get a good deal on it, right? That's the way I see it. It's not like they're fucking losing any sleep over all the missing content in the game. Or maybe they are losing a shitload of sleep for all I know. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, whatever.
Like, how are we going to make this June deadline?
Yeah, mistakes were obviously made, but in the end, look, I mean, this reminds me a lot of Soul Calibur 2 HD Online. Because, dude, it's called HD Online, but the online doesn't work. However, the glass is half full because they ported this old-ass PS2 game to the PS3, and it works with no lag. So, thankfully, at least we have a versus offline mode that we can play forever without having to use PS2s. So, in this case, I think it relates because the game system is great. Rip, you said earlier that it's very balanced, you know, and it seems like they did a great job on that. So, at least we got a really cool fighting game. We're going to get these cool tournaments, Wednesday night fights, next level battle circuit. It's all coming together nicely, if you ask me. It's just the story mode's missing and whatever. Who gives a shit? That'll come around. So we got screwed for $60. Big deal. It's not the first time it's ever happened, and at least the game's cool, right?
I've been way screwed.
Yeah, right? Mortal Kombat PC doesn't even fucking get updates ever? That's crazy. Oh man, that's crazy. So yeah, it's not the hardest we've ever gotten screwed. That's for sure. Anyway, what other topics? Is there anything else? I feel like we're missing really important shit. Any events this weekend?
Yeah,
oh
Evo.
yeah,
the big one was that I think within the first couple of days of registration, Street Fighter V passed last year.
Yeah.
The amount of entrants to Street Fighter 4. So that means they got over 2,200 something players within 4 days or some shit like that.
That's super crazy. That's super duper crazy.
I think a lot of it has to do kind of with the timing of everything. With like Evo being, you know, them opening up the registration like a week after Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
So everyone, you know, signs up now and thinks, oh, I'm gonna play
before
Street
they
Fighter 5.
quit. Yeah.
Yeah, before they quit, dude. Like if the registration would have happened a month later, or if the game came out a month earlier, like I don't think we get those numbers. So, but it doesn't matter though. The fact is that it's gonna be fucking gigantic.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I said it earlier. I had big dinner with Mr. Wizard yesterday, and man, I mean, you know, some of that info is top secret, right? But just in general, like one of the things I was talking about was, is there like ever gonna be any kind of cap? And he was like, nope. Evo's the shit, dude. It doesn't matter how many fucking people enter. We're the best. Don't ever fuck with us. You know, like, it was just such a cool, like, Evo's the best. You know, when it doesn't matter if we have 1 million players, we'll do it in 3 days. You know, and so, I don't know. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome, man. It's the biggest step in the biggest direction ever. It's at the fucking Mandalay Bay Event Center, so super dope. Today's the last day to register for the cheapest price for Evo.
Yeah.
So,
even if you guys, I would say this, even if you guys are not even sure if you're gonna go, I mean, it might be worth it just to sign up right now because you're gonna save, you know, pretty much like probably half of what you're gonna eventually pay.
The funny thing is,
right now,
I think the funniest part about it is if you register now and don't go, I think in most cases you would lose the same amount of money as you would if you don't register now and register later. You're still gonna lose the same amount of money, so you might as well register now and don't go. You know, instead of fucking spending $90 on registration, you might as well spend $45 now and don't go if you don't go. I mean, that really ends up being the case, and it could be worse too.
I think I only entered 2 games and I spent $40.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What 2?
Tekken and Street Fighter.
Yeah.
What? No Mortal Kombat?
Come on, man. Did you hear what he had to say about it a few minutes ago?
Yeah, but Ricky's the kind of guy who always enters all that shit.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. He's retired.
Too old.
Hey, when do you turn 30?
A couple months.
Are you kidding? You're 29?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Everybody's going over the hill, huh? Char and then you?
Me and Char are 86ers.
That's crazy.
Y'all are old.
Yeah. Well, okay, whatever. Who gives a shit? What's the next topic?
I don't know. I gotta finish registering. Hold on.
We could talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Nobi versus Tokido. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to do this for sure, but I'm definitely going to do a mystery Gosu on the Tokido Nobi. Nobito Toki match.
You should definitely do it.
Yeah, so I'm going to watch that maybe tomorrow if everything works out right, but I'm gonna definitely watch that, do some commentary over it. The problem is that the footage is from fucking shitty Nico, so you could barely see it.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Nico is trash. They gotta get rid of that.
But I think there's some videos online that are at decent quality. I think you'll be able to understand what's going on at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. The thing is, I mean, okay, Tokido obviously is like one of the best Akuma players of all time. He's famous for that, you know, the projector shining the Akuma symbol on his back, you know, way back in the day. Super famous player. And Nobi is a world champion level Tekken player. So these two did a set. I think it's a first to 5 in Fated Retribution. Akuma versus Dragunov. So I heard it's a really good set. And of course, this isn't like, don't think that Tokido is not a Tekken player though. Because Tokido is a top 8 placer at EVO in Tekken. So it's not like he's some fucking jobber, you know, he's
Is it
legit.
really twice?
Yeah, he made it
Yeah,
both
he made
years.
it twice.
In Tekken 6?
Yeah, it was Ryan Hart that got replaced by, I forget who.
Yeah, both years were basically the same, except
Ryan Hart.
yeah, Ryan Hart and someone else, Core, I think, making it 1 year.
Oh yeah,
Core was in top 8 both years too.
It
Oh,
was
yeah, he
one
was.
other
So
player.
it's
doesn't
Ryan Hart for
remember.
Nin.
Oh
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
got to be it. Nin.
Hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, that's a match that transpired that I haven't watched yet, but I'm planning on watching soon.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you this,
same.
as a player that that watches Tekken, like watching Tokido finally play Akuma, it was nice to see someone who actually knows what they're doing in terms of playing a Street Fighter character in Tekken. You know, like because we
Yeah.
watched every other Akuma we watched, you know, it was like it looked like Tekken players. You know, they know what they're doing, so they're just throwing fireballs and doing low sweeps, or they look like Street Fighter players that didn't know what they were doing in Tekken.
Yeah.
Tokido was able to merge the two very nicely, and it made me really excited to see that character actually get played. You know, it kind of gave me like the character looked dumb and looked kind of bad at first, but watching Tokido play it made me think like, okay, it can work in this game.
Isn't that the best? I think that's the best in fighting games when you see this like character and you think to yourself like, this thing, I don't know how it works. This character looks weird and dumb, and then it takes just one player to come out of nowhere like that. What was that Fuerte player that took everyone by storm?
Pepe Day.
Yeah, Pepe Day. It just takes this one weird ass motherfucker that didn't want to give up on this shitty character to just show you like, holy crap, he just fucked up Daigo. Oh man, you know. So yeah, I love it when that happens in fighting games, and it seems like Akuma is really coming together. Of course, it's a beta test, and you know, I'm looking forward to checking it out. Really, that's really the big thing. Next couple of days, I'll do that. What else? Anything else we're forgetting? Any events coming up this weekend, next weekend?
This weekend I think it's Winter Brawl X.
Ooh.
So this is the one that's supposed to have Filipino champ versus Kane Blue River.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. That sounds really good, right?
And a
Kane
first
Blue
to
River.
death match or something. I don't
First
know.
to death? Oh
I don't-
shit.
I don't know what they're gonna
They're
do.
gonna
You
fight on the pit stage? Okay. That's gonna be cool. And it's gonna be cool because you know the East region is really, really strong. I've been watching Next Level, and this is gonna be the first major for them. So I think, you know, Street Fighter V is brand new. Everyone wants to see who's the best. We've already seen Snake Eyes perform 2 weeks in a row. I want to watch what goes on this weekend. So good shit. That guy broke his leg and pulled out of the Conor McGregor fight. Whatever.
Oh my god, that was crazy. Broke
Man,
his foot.
I'm gonna be in Vegas during that fight.
It's the other guy now. Char told me it's Nate Diaz now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking stoner.
Yeah, it's funny.
A little
dude.
bit.
Yeah.
When they asked him what he's gonna buy with all his money, he said a bunch of nice shit, and then someone in the crowd yelled, "OG Kush!" And he was like pointed at him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a big bag."
Fucking calling all cars. Damn stoners. Anyway. Okay, good
Yeah,
shit.
that shit was so funny too. Okay, I just saw Charles said it. But
You want to
Conor McGregor,
Oh, go ahead.
McGregor called him out, RDA, about. He said he broke his foot and his vagina in the same damn day. What are the odds?
Broke his vagina.
Foot and vagina in the same day.
Bummer. All right, good shit. Whatever. It sounds like we covered all the topics at hand here. Everyone's coming out with the new tech, new strats near the beach in the lab. Everyone's got new shit. And I keep getting cool links on Twitter and stuff. I love that. I love watching a game age and seeing what everyone can do with it. It's weird that all this new stuff's coming out now and there were so many beta tests, but maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like really the game's fun. I'm having a blast with Street Fighter V.
I think a lot of it is just the fact that you don't have to play online, so you can just go into practice mode.
Yeah, that's true. And record function really adds a lot to a game.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, you guys go ahead and plug your shit, and we'll call bitches. Go ahead, Rip.
Yeah, it looked like Ricky raised his hands to go first.
That's why I said Rip.
Yeah, I got it. You can follow me, twitch.tv/levelupyourgame. I'm giving away this poison statue end of the month. It's going to be bit.ly/LUYG poison to enter.
Cool.
And also I'm giving away 2 of the Prima Collector's Edition strategy guides, the hardcover versions. All you got to do is be subscribed to the channel. Twitch.tv, level up your game.
Also, you are, I mean, why don't you talk about, like, I guess you didn't really announce it, right? You're like, you're going to be commentating Wednesday Night Fights every week, right? That's like your shit.
Yeah, I mean, I did it last season, and Sage and I, we're going to do it again this season. So
Cool.
We'll be there every week, and we will see you guys and talk about Street Fighter V.
Every Wednesday at, 8:30 or 9 p.m. Pacific time on Level Up Live.
9:30 p.m.
Yeah, that shit was hella far. On the way home, okay, so it's the middle of the night. There's not going to be less traffic than that, right? It took me 45 minutes to get home in the middle of the night with no traffic because of a road fucking 2 lanes closed on the 57.
Oh, shit.
So, I mean, it's like, you can't win. That's when they do all the construction, in the middle of the night. The fucking clone doesn't work right. It's too far. But I'll try to go again. I had a good time. I thought it was fun. Anyway, Ricky, plug your shit.
Follow me, Twitch, Twitter, at RickSteezy. It's on the title thing way up there. RickSteezy. I've been streaming a lot of Street Fighter V. Yeah, and I'll probably stream some more. And, yeah, and I'll be on Wednesday Night Fights, too. No commentary, though.
Good
One more
shit.
thing I forgot.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be restreaming Wizard World's Tekken 7 Top 8 tomorrow
Nice.
at noon.
Nice.
Tomorrow at noon.
Cool. Good shit.
Woo!
Do you know
can
where
talk
we
about
can
your-
watch that? I want to watch Ricky Ortiz's matches.
It's twitch.tv/WizardWorldGaming.
Good
That's where you
shit.
can catch all the archives.
Good shit. Okay, excellent. Do we know who is a bitch for the evening?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. I got 2.
Whoa.
Well, my bitch calling, I think, is kind of the collective group of, I think everyone thinks all these people are bitches, which are the rage quitters. And so I think it all comes down into, you have to find that one person that's the most, notable in terms of like an actual player that rage quits.
Uh-huh.
So Wolf Crone ends up being the bitch.
Does he
Yeah.
really do it? I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, there was a video, he lost and then, disconnected.
That's so crazy. He's like a known player. Everyone's going to talk shit. Why would you do that? Just sit through He wants to save his points?
I mean, there's that Capcom thing, right?
Yeah.
You get first
Excuse
place,
me.
you get to go to Capcom Cup. I mean, I think that the way to fix that right off the bat is to reset the points straight up, and then just like start.
They
over with the
have to
penalties.
reset the points. If they don't reset the points, oh man, are you kids full of cheaters?
But you know what? Who knows what they're gonna do? So and I like honestly, I don't even know Wolf Crone. I don't even know if he did rage quit on purpose or not. He challenged everyone to a money match at final round. He's like, if you guys, if you guys are
Jeez.
talking shit, come at me with money matches. So.
Mhm, yeah.
Whatever, but you know what? Since he's the most popular person in
The
terms of
F Champ said, "Bring your life savings," right?
yeah, that was
Something like
sick.
that.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So it's gonna be Wolf Crone and his group of rage quitters that with them.
Well, okay, all right. Those guys are definitely bitches. I guess Wolf Crone, huh?
Mhm.
He's the main bitch. All right. What about you, Rip?
I don't think I've got one. It's been like 2 weeks and I still don't think I've got one.
All right. Well, think it through. For me, I definitely agree that the rage quitters are a huge issue, but the ones specifically, like rage quitters, like I said earlier, you can't get mad at a dog for barking. This is how they're designed. Dogs bark. You can't get mad at rage quitters for being bitches. This is exactly how they're designed. When a bitch avenue shows up in front of them, they're like, this is the way to go if you're a bitch. I'm going to do that. I'm going to rage quit. So whatever. The ones that are really the worst are the ones that say, yeah, they put it in the game, so why would I not do it? It's in the game. Why wouldn't they want you to do it if they put it in the game? It's super crazy. So you have to ignore those people because those are like the sociopaths that are like real shitheads, right? So in the end, I think you have to call Capcom a bitch. You have to, because of all the mistakes they made in this launch, this is the one that's really truly inexcusable, because the whole infrastructure of the game itself is based around Capcom Pro Tour. It's about competition. They don't care about casuals. There's no story mode. It's all about competition. And this thing is fucking up all the competition. Like, to the point where it's a joke. It's a complete joke. There's no competition if someone could get 40 wins by rage quitting. You know? So, definitely the biggest fuck up of the launch is this rage quitting problem. It's the biggest fuck up. I mean, it's a catastrophe. And it needs to be fixed ASAP. Until it's fixed, you're bitches. Rip?
Yeah, I don't got one, but I'm going to go with reverse bitch calling because...
A shout out?
Yeah, reverse bitch calling. It was at Wizard World. And like I said, they paid everyone on the spot cash.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, Dalen, from Seattle, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I actually played him first round of the tournament. I beat him, and I was like, don't worry, dude, it'll be easier this, you know, the rest of the tournament, whatever. And he ends up, like, coming up to me during the top 8. And he says, who is the tournament organizer here, you know? And I see him holding an envelope. And it says on it, T7, first place. And I was like, what the fuck is this, right? So I take the envelope from him, and I open it up, and there's $1,500 cash inside. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, so I'm like, all right, come with me, man. So I took him over to Rick the Hado tournament organizer. I'm like, hey man, what's first place this week? You know, and he's all like, I believe it's $1,500. I'm like this $1,500? And he's like, what the fuck? So yeah, that guy Dalen, he found $1,500 on the floor. Apparently the guy walking around the envelopes accidentally dropped it. And so this guy Dalen finds $1,500 on the floor, picks it up, and returns it. So
Good
reverse bitch calling to Dalen for returning the money so that Geestmaster could have it.
The true story is the envelope had $2,000 in it. The plot thickens. Anyway, all right, good shit, good shit.
Where'd you
Reverse
get that
bitch
$500
calling.
from, Rip?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't know, man.
Reverse bitch calling should not be allowed. You're the one that invented them too. So stupid.
I did.
Reverse
Yeah,
bitch
but I
calling.
mean, now they're here. They're here for good.
Yeah, they're here for good. All right, whatever.
Thursday.
Rip's also a bitch. All right.
Hey, Charles.
You know it.
Yeah. Oh, Charles's birthday. He's 30 years old, and his Twitch channel is Insomnotek. Follow it up, will
Give
ya?
that guy a birthday gift and a sub button.
Yeah, really. No shit. Catch you later, internet. Take it
Peace.
easy, everybody.